we are at a park that a lot of people have asked me, how come I haven't played this park? This is basically my home course. It's, 4 miles from the house, something like that. It's a very busy park. We're going to see how this round goes today. It's Ferry Park. We're going to play the shorts. We're going to play all 18. Nice, cool morning. We should be able to get through this. This is the hole 10 tee pad. I like to throw kind of a big hyzer shot here. I like to throw it towards this pine tree we're coming towards, and about the height of that wire or a little higher. And then round this left-hand bend as the disc loses its RPM and scoot somewhere in this in these pine needles and leaves. Okay, hole 10. It reached 202, so it's basically the same throw we just threw. In fact, the basket is straight in front of us. There is a lot in our way. So I'm going to throw the A5 again, right towards this really tall pine on the right. And hopefully it will start its fade back towards the basket. Too much hyzer. I did the old man throw. That throw I absolutely hate. I just went up there and threw it up high. All right, I've definitely left myself with a terrible putt. I've got all kinds of trees in my way. I'm still 60 feet from the basket. What is the easiest way to get through here? I think it's come off the A5 like this and try and shoot right up the center. Control, control. Well, probably couldn't see it because of all the trees in the way, but it slid right next to the basket. So that disc flew in just like this. Boop, landed right there. All right, take our par on hole 10. Moving on to 11. 11's a doozy. Hole 11 is kind of a backhand shot. If you can sneak through these large pine trees and have your disc turn a little to the left and then fade back to the right, you're in good birdie territory every time. I may regret this, but it really looks like the shot is a little wider if I can come out from the side with the scorch and get it to skip back towards the basket. Sorry, hole 11's 195. Basket's right in front of me, but it's blocked up by a bunch of trees. That was a terrible, terrible throw. Really bad throw. Left myself in a bad spot. Gave it a little too much spice on that throw. It's only too much spice for me. Let's take our little flip. Get right behind the disc. All right. Hole 11 is a par with a really bad drive. This is a very birdieable hole. Hole 12 is another tunnel shot. It's not too narrow, but you do have a tree dead center of the fairway there at the end of the tunnel. So I like to throw a turnover the left here and have the disc turn towards the basket as it loses RPM. Hole 12, we're at the short pin location, I believe, and it says 187. I don't think that's the long pin. If it is, it's 216. Not that much difference. All right. I really want to turn this over just a tiny bit or have it just go really straight and not fade at the end. It turned over, but it was a terrible throw. Another bad throw. So we've got a little distance left here. Not going to take a flip, just going to get up here. Think about pushing those fingers out. All right, let's head up there and drop it in. Now that I've walked up here, this is definitely the long pin location. So you got that distance earlier. There we go for another par. Hole 13 used to be one of my favorites. It's just over here in this direction. Hole 13, it's a fun one. Got two Mandos on the right. It's not a very long hole. You really just need to throw a nice controlled, soft shot to land in this dirt and slide up near the basket. All right, hole 13, it is the short pin location because I can see it. Long pin location's around the corner of this fence. It reads 204, and we're gonna try and just go back to the buzz and see if I can throw. We got two Mandos here, one here and one right there. See if I can throw towards the second Mando and have this buzz just fade right at the end, right towards the basket. We'll see. So right towards the Mando, we got us a really bad kick, but I think I can still make it around the Mando. This buzz has got to be the straightest flying disc I've ever thrown. I don't think this is an illegal move like this to just try and throw a turnover. I'm still behind my disc quite a bit. Maybe if I put that right behind the disc and get around this Mando and just lay it up. All right, it's laid up about 5 feet from the basket or so. Let's go 5, maybe 6, 7 feet or so. I am going to take my flip just to ensure I don't miss this little tiny short putt, or to give myself a better shot at not missing this little tiny short putt, which they tend to be the ones I miss the most. All right, that's maybe not true, but they hurt the most, so you really remember them. The hole 14 tee pad here has water on the right, so you got to be careful not to grip lock a throw. And it's just another lazy hyzer. We throw towards these two trees dead in front of us and let the disc lose RPM and land right here somewhere. All right, we're a little bit off kilter for this shot, but it's all right. Hole 14, this is going to be another A5 shot. It reads 187 feet, and it needs a little bit of a turn. We all, I think, kind of throw towards that tall pine tree down the way, or maybe even towards the palm just to the right of it, and then just hope the A5 will fade right into its place. So come up here and just ease it in. Quit lifting the disc, you idiot. Ease it in there. We got a tailwind. I don't know what that'll do. I think it's just sitting there for a birdie. Crikey, this is a real treat. This is the ever-elusive brown striped sockfish in its natural habitat. You've got to be real careful around this. They can be quite toxic. We're not going to touch it. We're just going to let it be and move on about our day. Wow, what a treat. Another one that should be a simple putt. That's not a putter. So we are going to take our flip. We're going to put our foot right directly behind it, Rob, and put in for another birdie. Hole 14, birdied. 15's right over there. Hole 15 is another relatively short hole from the short tee pad here. This is another one I throw like 12. I throw it up in the air to the right, and I throw a little slight turnover shot. Just try and slip through all these guardian trees. There's a lot of loose stuff on the ground here, so the disc will slide around. There's also a ditch behind it that can be full of water. All right, I do have a little history on hole 15 here. I'm not sure what happened to our little sign. I'm going to guess it was stolen. But this is the tee pad that I paid for when I didn't know what disc golf was. When they went to build this park, I owned a website, and it was called race850.com. And they reached out to me, the folks building this park, and asked if I'd like to donate. So I did donate and paid for this concrete. And it just so happens this was the only hole I based on for the longest time. So hole 15, short pin 217. Gonna throw this M4-4. It does like to turn over if I throw it with the right amount of speed, and the basket is off to the right. The large gap is dead center. So let's see if I can get it up there. Gonna miss the large gap, but ace running right by the basket. Well, I almost did it again. That disc came in, I think, just to the right. No, it must have been just to the left here. and it flew right by the basket. Landed here, caught on a root, and stopped. It's super rooty back here. I don't know how this ditch would get played, whether it's OB, inbounds, but luckily the roots caught me and we're safe. So I'm going to take my little flip and hope for another birdie. The footing is odd. Got to be behind the disc, right? Okay. I know it's a short putt, but now we'll give it a shot. Fingers right. I got really lucky throwing to the left side of those chains. You saw it from your angle. It nearly flopped out. So there's another birdie, hole 15. Boy, that would have been cool if it would have gone in on the first throw. This is hole 16. For me, I throw this as kind of a big turnover shot. Again, I'll throw it towards the corner of this fence, straight out here, try and get a bunch of height and let the disc just naturally turn in this direction. This is hole 16. It's the short pin for sure. It's 214. Again, I have to throw the same disc because I want this disc to turn to the right a little bit. It's only 214. We should be able to get it out their ways. So we're going to come up here, throw right towards that little scraggly tree that you can see out in front of us. So I got myself really screwed up on that one. Right as I got ready to throw, I looked up because there's a woman walking a dog and she was about to walk right into my path. So the second I looked up, I really messed up that throw. I turned the disc over and threw it low. There she is. That's part of the trouble of this course. I said earlier that I don't come out here and play very often because it's walked by a ton of people, and it's not their fault. I've got to share this park with all them. Before this was a disc golf park, I used to come and walk this park. I'd catch fish in the creeks. You know, you just have to share the park with the people. Okay, so I've definitely got a 30 or 40 foot putt ahead of me here. Gonna take my flip just to get that little bit extra. Try not to land on top of the basket again, right? Okay, get those fingers right, ready to push. Right behind the disc. I've really been working on my foot fault lately, just trying to break that habit. All right, what was that? Hole 16 for 3. 17's right behind us. Hole 17 is wide open with a creek on the right. You just got to be careful not to throw your disc underneath that bridge into the water. I just like to throw a nice high natural shot and let the disc lose its spin and fall right here between the trees. So we've got us another straight shot. It's 204 feet. It's right behind the palm trees on the left. So I'm going to throw the A5, give it a little hyzer so that I attempt to not throw towards this creek on the right. I read a lot of the Facebook posts from this course, and it seems like a lot of discs get lost right there by that bridge. See if I can keep mine out of there. We're going to throw towards the bridge, towards the foot of the bridge, and hope this thing hyzers back towards, or just fades back towards the basket. Nope. We need to stay down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Not the worst place I could be, but I completely missed my line. Definitely left myself way too long of a putt. Not going to worry about the flip. She's way out there. Maybe I should have taken the flip. I think the flip would have helped me just a touch. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and let some folks behind me play through because it takes me a while to get the shot set up and do these things, so I do play pretty slow. Man, this is a great park. You may be able to hear it on the mic, but we've got tennis courts going on here, and they are full. There's pickleball courts just over here, and they look like they're just about full. There's a 1 mile walking trail that goes all the way around this place. It's exactly a mile, so it's a really fun thing to come and, you know, get a good walk in, know that you're doing a mile. There's a lot of people out here doing it. So, you know, it's beautiful. I remember as a little kid playing in this creek right here. So we'd come out here and trap minnows and use them for bait to fish just down the road. This was an 1/8 a mile from where I grew up. Now I live across town. It's not exactly my neighborhood park anymore, but it was for a really long time. I wish I would have played more disc golf back then. All right, so I guess that's it about Ferry Park. We got one more hole to go. Let's see if we can get it done. We've made it to hole 18. Hole 18 can be a little intimidating since there is a creek right in front of where you're throwing. It's pretty wide. It's the widest section of creek out there at Ferry Park, I believe. And then also you've got some low vegetation there. You've got a couple of trees dead ahead of you. And you really need to crank that throw out there just as far as you can, so that maybe you can end up right here behind this tree. All right, we've made it all the way to hole 18. It's 264 to the short pin, and I think we are playing the short pin. Same throw if I can shape it right. I think I did. It was a great throw. I made the gap I was shooting for, and it's pretty close. So just a little more distance would have been nice. It would have been more confidence inspiring for this putt. So we're going to take our flip. We're going to concentrate and try not to put too much into it and sink the putt. Birdie on 18 is amazing. What a great way to finish a round. That's 18 holes here at the Ferry Park Disc Golf Course. That's going to be it for me. I'm over it. It's time to go get some coffee. Hey, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It'd really help the channel out a lot. Thanks. See you next time.